Hello, Leo, and thank you for teaching me so much this year. Thank you very much for your kindness and your softness this month of August, as you've really shown us so far. It is now the 13th of August. How to be inside, and how to really understand what life is all about. Because you see, Leo is the new gush of truth and wisdom for us all now, because we've really committed to you a lot more than we used to, because you are the heart, you are the Pluto and the sun, you are the symbol of joy and love and care. And however you choose to be, you're also a very perplexed being due to your possibility chain. Possibility chain, what is that? Well, Pluto knows in Leo that everything that you are is a possibility. Like, you can really take advantage. You can really take advantage, and you know it. And taking advantage is something that you do. And because you are somebody who's made to do that, you should not worship it, but you should sort of put it aside as an inevitable experience. Your life is the advantage taking of other people, of opportunities, of yourself, and of means, different means of life, different means of worship of different things, different means of survival. And you are somebody who's really optimistic when you can do that. So taking advantage of people, taking advantage of information, taking advantage of other people's business and make it your own, taking advantage of other people's words and make them sound like your own words, or taking advantage of anybody in order to give yourself more. Even if you're not doing it out of anger or shame, you're just doing it because you're an opportunist and an optimist in a big way, sorry. But at the same time, Leo can sometimes forget that it's enough. It's enough to take from this person, and it's time to move to the next person. It's enough to take from this experience, and it's time to move to the next experience. So if you're a fifth house sun or a Leo sun, this is for you. Yes, it's time to move on when you feel that it's hard and it's dirty work. It's time to move on to the next reality, because what is taking opportunity of things? What is taking things for granted? Well, when you can take and take and take from something, from a source that is not sustainable, say you are looking towards a person and they're no longer laughing at your jokes, and they feel a little bit bummed out by you, or they feel a little bit bummed out when they meet you in public, or they kind of don't look at you enough, they're not there, and you're still sort of looking for that same kind of response, like of laughter and enjoyment from them, move on. It is really important to move on. If you have somebody who comes to you and suddenly they find it exciting, as I'm sure you've done in the past, then go with it, go for it. If something's fun and blingy and shiny and loving and laughing, something that presents to you as like an opportunity, a personality that you enjoy, please go for it, because you've done so in the past and has brought you a lot. So what to do when opportunities have exhausted themselves? That's the main thing that brings Leo down, when they don't understand, because they're a fixed sign. So they got to keep on going at something, but sometimes when they keep on going at a business or a person, they forget that they need to keep on going in themselves, as they need to be fixed inside their heart and themselves, not in other people, not in other opportunities, and not in other situations or circumstances. When a human being who's Leo or a fifth house native gets really stuck with somebody, and they don't care if they don't get the same response, or if they're still the same job and they don't really care if they still get the same working hours and the same pay, they kind of lose themselves. So what happens when you are at some kind of a platform and you feel, I can't get higher than that, I can't get higher than this person, I can't get higher than this opportunity, I can't get higher than this situation? Well, the situation continues till you break. And you can break by yelling or yelping, or you can get really weak and you can squeal like a child, or you can feel very powerful and determining that it was all wrong and throwing everything out, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You can really crack sometimes, depending on how your horoscope is formed, but the crack happens in different ways for different Leos. It could be a really powerful crack, it could be a very cheap crack, it could be a very shameful crack, but something cracks. And when you can see that the resources are no longer available, things kind of go astray. And what to do? Well, the resource that you're looking for is within you. Even if you're not Leo, if you're fifth house Leo, as my boyfriend is, the resource that you're looking for, that you're looking towards, as something that will fulfill you, is not there anymore. And they can bring you a lot of pain and torment, because say you're looking at the same type of work, your heart is maybe desiring something completely different. But say if you've been a bricklayer, like a laborer for most of your life, um, and you keep on trying, and inside your heart is like saying, oh man, give it all away, just get a van and move out to the countryside, and get a freaking, I don't know, a saw, and start like sort of like hacking away at a tree and making furniture out of wood or something like that. Then do that thing just to feel it. Maybe sometimes you just need that experience to get away for a while and to play with wood for a while, and maybe if it goes, you have to take very careful steps in your adventures, because sometimes it's just like a shock value that you're looking for, and sometimes it's actually a significant life change that you're looking for. When you're with a human being, you can be in a relationship that's really toxic, even if it's a friend, a relationship, a mother, a sister, doesn't matter who. Leo's a very masculine sign. And then say you're looking for them, you're looking for that kindness that you once gotten from them, that one time experience when you got drunk under the moon, you laughed all night, and you're still sort of feeling that could be possible with them, as you're sort of carrying on from Cancer momentum, looking to the past a little bit too much in order to forgive yourself sometimes. And what do I mean forgive yourself? Just forgive yourself for looking around while being with that person. Sometimes you can be with somebody and you're sort of looking for that initial crack with them, that initial beautiful experience with them, while you're actually not really feeling like deserving of that person anymore. They don't feel deserving of you, and they're looking around for others and you're looking around, and this can be like really tormenting for you both because things are not sticking together. But then at the same time, they are too good to be true, too good to be real, too good to sort of mar. And then what do? Well, you just have to like stick it out and just know that sometimes what they do is what they do, and it's their business. And then you got to go back inside. You got to go back to self every day if you can, because sometimes you can really swallow a lot of pills from other people, and you can really sort of swallow a lot of information that's not worthy of you. You can like do a lot of work for other people that you don't really want to do. You can do a lot of different tormenting things just to elevate yourself in some way, and it's really hard work with Leo to get happy when you are in the rut. So what to do? Basically, you're building a castle, and the castle is you, and the heart is the king of the castle. There's a basic analogy here. So every brick that you lay, from everything that you do and everything that you've ever compiled and everybody that you've ever known, it's like a brick. It's just a brick. Look at all the bricks. Put the bricks together, okay? So this is like, say, age 12, or my bricks age 13. Don't count too far down. Okay, so from your teens, bricks age 17. So this was my girlfriend then, and this is my girlfriend now. And there's the problem. For example, you've carried a lot of bricks for an ex-girlfriend, and then now in this lifetime your new girlfriend can't be your girlfriend because she's feeling that you are very dramatizing her in a way that you actually experienced your past girlfriend. So say you had a purpose with this girl and it didn't go right, and that feeling of, if I have a purpose with a girl, it doesn't go right, is still pursuing you in your 27th year with your new girlfriend. Because often when you connect to people and experiences and things like that, you sort of develop a formula, and the formula gets inlaid into the foundation of your castle that you're building for yourself. For example, the formula is, I got a new friend when I was 16, and then he just gave me away. He just disappointed me, and he never was my friend again. And sometimes Leo can be like, okay, I'll fix that in, just to be sure, because they like to be sure. Okay, I'll fix that in. I'll put that in the database just so I know for later. And then they can be 17, they can be 19, they can be 20, and they'll find a consistency there where people just give them away, or things kind of don't nurture them in a way that should. And then what to do here is basically to need less, but to allow more to come. So to need less from people, because sometimes, say if there's a formula, like that friend gave me away, or that girl disappointed me once, or like that work was really hard, you need more from those sources because the formula is there. And the more formulas you kind of like throw away, and I hope this is making sense, the more formulas you throw away, the less you need. So sometimes, say for example, this is just an example, you've got a job, you got your first job at 16, you were working really hard, you labored your ass off, and you thought that was really hard. And then you get a job for, like, say, education, you do an engineering degree, and then you get a job with engineering. You don't even want to do the job because something is hanging over you saying the work is hard. And then say you get another job later, say driving buses, and you already know that the work is going to be hard. So if it's not really hard, you'll make it hard for yourself. You'll get sick, or you'll do too many shifts, or you'll do something, but the work is hard. And the more formulas like that you have in your psyche, then the more presence like that you get from reality, because your reality matches to your vibration and your preconception about certain type of experiences. And sometimes when you got a preconception about a certain type of experience, you'll have it over and over and over again. And no matter how you put it, the earth, the universe will give you exactly what you're vibrating, whether it's good or bad. It's not really like something that is going to only give you the good things. It'll give you the bad things too. So what to do is basically not to build any formulas at all, because the good formulas can be really suffering too. For example, if you're a Leo or a fifth house native, and you got a formula, say, wow, you know, I went out dancing once with a girl from a certain background, okay, ethnic background, and she was really fun, okay? And then that happens once. And then now every time that guy sees a girl of that ethnic background, he thinks, she's gonna be really fun. And he gets those types of girls, but it doesn't go past the dancing, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't go past that initial experience, because it's been programmed in. Like, people of that type of ethnicity, that type of girls, they're fun girls. And then it becomes like sort of like a pattern that is just reduced to that. And a lot of limitation happens for Leo, because their patterns become quite limited, because they're all formula based. So what to do? Basically, get rid of your formulas and tell yourself something completely otherwise. For example, I was 16 and my friend betrayed me, just threw me away. And then you can say, when I was 16, my friend was grumpy about something and he didn't need me at the time because he had too much to, you know, go for himself. He had too much to go for. He had too much information coming through. He had too many things to worry about. And you just like kind of go, do I really want that in my life? Do I want people who are worried, who have got too much on their hands anyway? They have no time for me. Maybe not. And then maybe nature will give you a different formula. For example, you'll meet some friend and he's got all the time in the world for you. And maybe you'll like that for a while, but don't adopt anything as a formula. Like, this kind of person is good, this kind of person is not. This kind of job is hard, this kind of job is easy. Like, there needs to be just completely abolishment of all formula, because all formulaic activity, because any type of determination, like this is this and this is that, because you've got the Sun and a Pluto as your rulers, and because you've got so much information coming through you from the heart, I feel that it can be very easily programmed, your reality. And when you have a very simple program, your life is very unrecognizable to you, and you can sometimes be like feeling I'm living someone else's experience, or like I'm living a life that's not really right for me. Sometimes you can feel like I've got this life, but it's not really real, or like I'm following other people around because I think that, for example, because of how my mum functioned and how my sister functions now, I feel that the woman always knows best, and I follow my girl around and I don't freaking know what I want, and I feel disappointed and deluded and eluded into a different life that I probably don't deserve. And then sometimes you can just build a formula really quickly and easily. For example, the woman always knows best. Well, actually, my mom doesn't know best. She just tries to keep things together. She just tries to sort of like form herself around the family members to the best of her ability. Or maybe that's what my sister's done too. And maybe that's what my girlfriend's done too. Maybe she's not trying to dominate me and tell me what to do because she knows better. Maybe she's just doing it because she's lost herself, and she's trying to find some kind of stability in herself by ordering other people around to make sure that they don't stuff up as well, because she's got so much stuffing up in her own life. Okay, so maybe I don't need that kind of energy in my life. Maybe I'm actually not meant to like run around after my girlfriend. Maybe I'm meant to be in my own world, and sometimes being able to hold her and support her in a different way. So it's like connecting the different dots for Leo is like the best medicine ever. And that has to be done inside, and that has to be done in a very certain time of day or time of life when you have a feeling like you don't need to do anything. Because sometimes when you reconnect the dots and then the next day you've got to do it all again, that's really hard. So where to find the time? Well, just like enjoy yourself. Even like on the toilet, so you're looking through Facebook. That's not such a good idea. You're in a toilet, so you're going to be in a toilet for 20 minutes. You had a hard day. Think about it. Okay, I'm on a toilet. It's a good idea because, you know, toilet is a good idea because you got Virgo after you, digestive system. Yeah, all right. So you sort of looking towards ascension when you're digesting or you go into the bathroom. So you're on the toilet, you're sitting there, you're thinking, man, like, say I've done a lot of work for this business, for this job, but man, I really don't feel good, like, paid for it. I don't feel that well paid for it, you know? And then you think, where does the formula begin? And you go, well, my father's always said that work is hard, or like that I need to work hard in order to earn my money. And then say, like, my business venture didn't go very far, and I was like really surprised that it was like such little work involved, and it was just too easy. So I just had to like disconnect from it because it was too easy to be true, because my father's always said that work has to be hard. And then you go, well, maybe the formula is that my father was maybe lying to me a little bit, or he didn't know himself what work was. Or maybe like work is not hard, it's easy. Maybe simple work is fine. And maybe it's not about hard or simple, maybe just about alignment. You're just like sitting there in a toilet and just like thinking about these things. And then like give yourself time, like give yourself a night to remember for you without anybody else involved, because Leo's somebody that like really shines or strives to shine in front of people. And then a lot of the time they lose their own meaning in life because they're too much of a good ride for another person. So give yourself the time of day and say you're like enjoying yourself with like a cup of tea or like a breakfast, and you're kind of like sitting there by yourself and just like go, So say like, my mother wasn't meant to push us around as kids. She was just pretending to be mean in order to kind of like conceive in us some kind of like a feeling like we needed to listen to her because she didn't feel listened to. Okay, so she was a disempowered woman. She wasn't a knowing woman, and things like that. So just like connect the dots in a different way, and then things happen to you in a different way. Anyway, Leo, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for all the wonderful work that you've done for us this month. We really feel enlightened by your amazing presence, an amazing way to connect us with our heart and our deep needs beyond society, beyond control, beyond everything else. Thank you very much. Check out my website and see what you like and what you don't like, and let me know if you'd like a reading. Thanks a lot.